I have always thought that the Toy Story movies were created for both children and adults. Many of us are still captivated by them due to the nostalgia of our childhood. When the first movie was released, it was a massive novelty. The concept of toys coming to life was quite revolutionary, at least in the way Pixar approached it. Furthermore, I feel that each movie revolves around a different message. For instance, in the first one, we saw Buzz's entire process of understanding who he truly was. At first, his greatest dream was to fulfill a space mission, but little by little he discovers that even though he is just a toy, he can make a child happy. And that completely redefines the meaning of his existence. The fifth installment has been quite criticized. Many people talk about plot holes, such as the fact that the toys now move with much more freedom, something that seemed unthinkable in the first movie. However, if we think about it, it also makes sense in today's world. Before, children were much more attentive to their toys. Now, we all live distracted by cell phones, tablets, and social media. Even if it sounds a bit exaggerated to a certain extent, I agree that toys could walk around without us even noticing. People also question that Woody and Buzz become secondary characters and that the subplot feels a bit too simple. But in my opinion, Toy Story 5 never tried to be just another story about Woody or Buzz. To me, this movie is the continuation of Jessie's story. In Toy Story 2, she learns one of life's hardest lessons. We are temporary in the lives of the people we love. It is inevitable that at some point, we will stop being a part of some people's lives. And if you think about it, that happens all the time. That best friend from school we used to talk to every single day. That university classmate with whom we promised never to lose touch. We keep talking for a few weeks, a few months, until one day, without realizing it, we are complete strangers. But in this fifth installment, Jessie discovers something that I found beautiful. Yes, we are temporary, but we also leave a mark. Many times we don't get to see the legacy we leave behind in the people we cross paths with. And this part moved me deeply because I recently reconnected with a very close friend from university. After a rather long conversation, he started reminding me of things I had told him years ago that, according to him, had made him reflect on himself. He even told me that some of those conversations ended up becoming a topic of discussion with his rabbi. I had no idea. And that made me think that perhaps I'm no longer a part of the lives of many people who passed through mine but didn't stay. However, maybe a legacy did remain. Perhaps a conversation, a piece of advice, a way of looking at things, a word that arrived at just the right moment. While writing this, I remembered a verse that says, "Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or if both will do equally well." Ecclesiastes 11:6. I think that is one of the most beautiful things about life. We never know which word, gesture, or conversation will be the one God uses to transform someone's heart. We live believing that we only leave a mark when we can actually see it. But I think most of the time it happens the other way around. We leave small seeds in the lives of others without even knowing it. And I like to think that, in the end, that is also a way to transcend. Perhaps now you are curious. What was that seed? The truth is, it was something very simple. In university, this friend was going through a tough financial situation. One day he came to ask if he could borrow some money. It was a very, very small amount. In fact, I had saved it from my bus fares. But I remember something very well. He kept insisting over and over again that he was going to pay me back. It was almost a constant worry for him. I felt the weight he was carrying, as if, on top of needing help, he carried the anxiety of being indebted to someone. And my reaction was to try to lift that weight off him. I told him I would lend him the money and not to worry about it. If he could return it, perfect. And if he couldn't, that was fine too. Here, let me open a brief parenthesis. I have always thought that if you are going to lend money and the possibility of not getting paid back is going to take away your peace of mind, it's better not to do it. When I lend money, I try to do it with the mindset that it might never return. That way, I avoid unnecessary bitterness. In fact, my great-grandfather died of heartbreak and moral grief due to not being able to pay a debt. So there has been a heavy burden attached to this topic since then. Funny enough, I think my answer actually offended my friend a little bit. He kept insisting that he was going to pay me back. In the end, he couldn't do it. But neither he nor I carried the weight of that debt. Years later, he told me that this conversation had even become a topic of discussion with his rabbi. And that's when I understood what the seed had been. And it wasn't the money. It was having shown him that helping someone can also mean lifting a burden off their shoulders. I like to think that if one day he finds himself on the other side, he won't necessarily repeat my gesture exactly the same way. But maybe he'll remember how he felt that day and choose to extend that same mercy to someone else. Just like it filled Jessie's heart to realize that her name had become part of Emily's story and the legacy of what she had meant in her childhood, it fills mine to think that a simple act of kindness can continue long after we're gone. And if that ever happens, then the seed will have kept bearing fruit, even if I'm no longer there to witness it.